Nikon Education Foundation presents 7 weeks free data analytic training. In these 7 weeks, you're going to learn Excel, MySQL, and Power BI. Also, you'll be getting a certificate of completion by the end of this course. Join us on this journey of becoming a certified data analyst.
I welcome everybody to today's training, which is week 5. Today we are going to start Power BI, business intelligence, and I believe you have your notepad beside you and your laptop. Now, before we go into the training proper, I like to do 2 things. First thing I want to do is I want to quickly look at the assignment, the work I wanted to look at last week that I was having issue with that material. I said I'm going to come back today and trash it out. And also today, the assignment I gave to you last week, the data visualization, I gave you an assignment on pivot table, carry out analysis via pivot table. So we are going to look at that one again. We are going to look at it this afternoon. We are just going to look at it for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to pick the question randomly, and then we are going to just see how to go about the tasks. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to go back to the function of left and right, that material we looked at last week that I said I will get back, that I said I'm going to get back there today. So we are going to go there today, and then we are going to work on the material. So I don't know if the lady is already online, but if she's not online, I think she will check it once she come online. Okay, so last week we looked at this in Excel, and I was able to understand our question last week. So today I will go into it now and then do it now, and then we'll move from here to the assignment I gave to you last week. Now we are trying to use left and right function here. Now when we used left here, the first row, and then when we wanted to use, and then when we autofill, we noticed that we got a wrong result. So I realized that it means that left function and right function will not work here this time. So we are going to use another method to get the right results for this particular column B. So now I designed a material, and if you look at this particular column, we have Olufemi, Michael, and then if you count it, 7, 7. Now if we use left and right function, we are going to get the exact space. But the row 2, row 3, row 4 to row 16, we might not get the exact results. So it will mean that we will still get back to what the lady got last week when she was solving the problem. So this is how we are going to go about it. Now the first thing we are going to do is that we are going to copy this particular cell. We're going to use Ctrl+C to copy this thing, and then you paste it with Ctrl+V. And then the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to space this name, the 2 names, Olufemi and Michael. We are going to put a space here. And after putting a space here, and then you are going to use Ctrl+E to populate the rest. So let me try to do it. Ctrl+E. Can you see now? So with Ctrl+E, I was able to get the right answer here. So this Johnny Khan, Tolulokwe Ige. So we have a space in between the 2 names, and we're able to get the result. So I guess this is what the lady was asking for yesterday. Because if you look at all this, if you look at these names, some are small, some are long. So we've now achieved the results we want to see. Now this is when she used left and right function. She got this, and this was what brought the question. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to delete this, and then the next thing is I'm going to use that same formula again. Copy and then paste, Control V. And then after pasting, I'm going to put a space in between the head here. Okay, put in a space, and I'm going to use my Control E, Control E. Then with my Control E, I've been able to get the right answer here, the right results. So I think that is that. So instead of using left and right function, you can just, if you have a large rows, then you can use it that way. So if the lady is online, I've already got a solution to that question. So now we are going to move to the assignment I gave to you last week. Let me quickly go to the assignment here. Yeah, this is the assignment I gave to you. So sorry, today I'll be fast. So please, just what you just need to do is just follow me. Just follow what I'm doing. After the class, you can go to the YouTube channel and watch it again. I will be fast today. I will be fast with everything I'm going to do today. So please, you are going to pardon me for today, even tomorrow, because it's just we are using Monday and Tuesday for Power BI. So I will be a bit fast. I will be a bit fast. I will be a bit fast. Thank you. Now, this is the assignment I gave to us last week. I said, kindly use pivot table to carry out analysis on this data. Please don't use data visualization to find the solution to the question. If you don't know it, leave it. Open a new sheet for your answer. That is row 1 for question 1, answer. Row 2 for question 2, answer, etc. Now, this is the question. How much is the revenue? I said, okay, this is the question. How much is the revenue made by Arnold Cole and Von Allen in 2010? Now, this question, I say you must not use data visualization. That is, you must not use visualization. You must not use your chart and bring out the date and use it to get the answer. I said use pivot table. That was the instruction I gave. Use pivot table. So let's quickly, I said I won't be able to answer the 1 to 9 because of time. I will just answer you, and then you can just use my method to go back to it again. Peradventure you do not do it well, or peradventure you do not even attempt it. You can just go back to it and then do it. Now, this is the question. How much is the revenue made by Arnold Cole and Von Allen in 2010? So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to convert this thing to pivot table. Insert the pivot table. Okay. Now, this is the first thing we are going to do. Now, if you look at the question, this is the question. How much is the revenue made by Arnold Cole and Von Allen in 2010? Now, Arnold Cole and Von Allen, they are salesperson. The both of them, they are salesperson. And what we are looking for is the revenue. That means that the pivot table I'm going to build here is going to be salesperson by revenue or revenue by salesperson, anyhow you want to put it. So I'm going to come down to this sheet again. I'm going to come and I will say salesperson by revenue. Now, in order not to confuse, I'm going to name this space as salesperson. Okay, now I'm going to put a dollar sign here. Good, I'm going to reduce this stuff, the decimal. Okay, now let's quickly go to the question again. How much is the revenue made by Arnold Cole and Von Allen in 2010? That's the question. Now, the next I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my date here. Good. Now, how much is the revenue made by Arnold Cole and Von Allen in 2010? So this is 2010. And these are my salesperson. The revenue made by Alan Cole in 2010. This is the revenue, 72,012. 72,012. This is for 2011, and this is the grand total. And then for Von Allen, 156,206. That is the answer. That's how to get the answer. Now let's move to the second question. How much is the revenue made in 2011 by Livingston Lynette and Kelly Heisliter in 2011? I come back here again. This is my 2011. This is my 2011. Livingston Lynette, 1,352, and the Kelly Heisliter, This for Kelly Slater, 107,746. Thank you. So that is the second question. So I'm going to leave this one. I'll move to another question here. Now, this is another question. In question 4, what is the revenue? So you can use that method to do number 3. Number 4, what is the revenue made by Lucas John in second and third quarter of 2011? What is the revenue made by Lucas John second quarter and third quarter 2011? So I come back here again. Lucas John, third quarter, second quarter, and third quarter. So we are referring to Lucas John, this particular guy. First quarter, second quarter, and you just click this arrow, then I can see my first quarter and second quarter. What is the revenue made by Lucas John in the second quarter and third quarter? So second quarter and third quarter, this is the second quarter. Then this is my Lucas John. Then you just carry the second quarter. He made 47,690, and in third quarter, he made 29,000. He made 29,802. So now let's move to another question. Now, what is the grand total made in quarter 1 and quarter 2 in 2010 in respect to the salesperson? What is the grand total made in quarter 1 and quarter 2 in respect to the salesperson? Now, if you look at the question 5, you come back again. Now, if you want to track the grand total, this is the grand total in 2011 quarter 1, quarter 2. This is our this is our grand total year. Yes, this one, and then quarter 2, this one, and then quarter 2, this one, this, and this. This is the total. Grand total is different from this. This one is for each person. This one, and then this one. Now, let's move to the another question because of time, because I said I will be fast today. Now, what is the amount of revenue made by Arnold Susan in March and Arnold Cole in December 2011? So if you get for the month, you will just come, what is the revenue, what is the amount of revenue made by this Susan and then Arnold Cole in December 2011? You just come down here again. December 2011. December will be third, it will be fourth quarter 2011. So it will be around there. You click your arrow. This is December, and then you look for it here, and then you get your result. Because of time, I don't want to start searching. You just look for it there and then get your results. Now let's look at another one again. How much is the revenue made by fruit juice and water dispenser in 2010? Now, how much is the revenue made by fruit juice and water dispenser in 2010? So when you look at fruit juice, you know that fruit juice simply means product. That will be product by revenue. So you come down to this sheet again. That means we're already done with this. Remove your salesperson from here, and then bring in your product by revenue. Now let's now, so this is my products by revenue. So sorry, remember I changed the name, the first, I changed it to salesperson when I was doing the first stuff, but because of time, this ought to be products, but because of time, I don't want to change it because of time. So I will just enter just get the answer and then move on. Now let's see the question. How much is the revenue made by fruit juice and water dispenser in 2010? Fruit juice and water dispenser in 2010. Yeah, this is 2010. Fruit juice. This for fruit juice in 2010. This for fruit juice in 2010. And then water dispenser. This for water dispenser in 2010. That is the answer. So let's see. How much is the revenue made by fruit? I've done this. How many milk, tea, and Nutri-Milk sold in 2011, January 1st, in 2011 first quarter? Now in this will be products by unit sold. So if you come down here again, I'm going to remove the revenue this time. I'm going to put my unit sold, which is number of items. So this is already in dollar sign. Let me see if I can remove the dollar sign since we are counting this time. So good. So now let's quickly look at the question. How many milk tea and Nutrimix sold in 2011? January 1st. That will be first quarter. 2011, milk tea and Nutrimilk. This milk tea and Nutrimilk. This is it. Here we have Nutrimilk. We have 737, and then milk tea we have 850. 850. 850. This is our answer, 850 and then 737. Wait, let me check the question again. Okay, January first quarter. So this is 2011. Yeah, sorry. This is the first January. Yeah, this is January. Yeah, I think I'm still right. I'm still right. This is the answer. It's still correct. 730 milk tea, 850, and then 737 for January. Hmm. January, this is January, February, March. Sorry. Milk tea, 74 January. Then literally make 172 January first quarter. This is for February and this is for March. Thank you. So now let me see the last one here. Now for the last, which product? Yes, I made a mistake here. Which product are the highest sales in 2010 March? In 2010 March second quarter. This one ought to be second quarter is second quarter should be April, May, and June. So this one ought to be first quarter, not second. So which products are the highest sales in 2010 March first quarter? So you come down here again and then you just search it, get the one that has the highest sales in 2010 March. So if it is 2010, that means you need to come down here and filter. You come down here, you click, you filter. So you filter. This is 2010 first quarter. This is our first quarter, and then in March, this is March. So the highest is this drinking water. March first quarter. This drinking water has 84. So Dramis in March, drinking water has the highest sold 84, 84, 84. So that is how to go about that. So I think we are going to leave this assignment now and move to today's training. So I think I've already done the solution to the assignment. So you can just go back to your pivot table and then check, just use what I've just carry it out the way I've just done it. The one I did not treat, just carry it out like that and then just do it. Thank you very much. So let's move to Power BI. Power BI. Let me open my Power BI. So it's still putting. Okay. As you are waiting for you to boot, please, I want you to write this down. Everybody, you're writing material. Let's write something. Microsoft Power BI is used to find insights within an organization data. Yes, this will pass for data. Now, Power BI can help to connect data sets, transform, and clean the data. Let me say it again. Power BI can help connect data sets, transform, and clean the data in the Power Query. And then we can then create charts or graphs to provide visuals of the data. Let me repeat the definition again. Power BI can help to connect data sets, transform and clean the data in the Power Query in order to create charts or graphs to provide visuals of the data, to provide visuals of the data. Okay. Without taking much of our time, let's quickly look at the interface. Let's look at few things on the interface. Now, this is home. Now, under home ribbon, we can see get data. Here, get data will simply means now here, get data will simply means the source where we can get data. Now we can get data from Excel, workbook, from Power BI data set, from data flow, from data vast, from SQL, from analysis area, from text CSV, from web, from old data field, from blank query. Then when you see more, there is still more to see there. Now, here you can just leave this. You can leave this. You can also leave this. This one is how to, if you want to import data from SQL server database. Now, here is this one is for creating a new table. Remember, I said that there are some features that you will not see
Chama,
their, their effectiveness not
how you
until
doing?
you have the data. And then we have another one here, SQL endpoint. You might not bother about this. Now, these are Power Query. This one is a Power Query feature. Now, this one we can use this one to clean, transform my data. That is, I can import my data into Power Query to do transformation. We are still going to look at it. This is another new visual. I had a visual to your report. This one is for text box. When you are done with your data visualization and you want to write something, you want to write something on your text box, you can just create a text box. Now, this one is Power BI visual from app source or from your files. Now, if you look at insert, under insert, you might not bother about all this key influencer, decomposition tree. This one, smart narrative. This one is to summarize your data. Let's say you have already, let's say you have already done with your data visualization and you want to summarize what you have done. You can use smart narrative. Smart narrative will help you to we generate a report. We generate a report in summary of your data. And then this one is for Power App, and then this one is Power Automate. This one are advanced Power BI. Now, this is another one. This is okay. I've talked about this one before. This one is a button to your report. This one is if you want to add a shape to your report. This one if you want to add image to your report. This one, if you want to add a visual to your report, this you can make use of this. You want to add a visual to your report, you can make use of that. And then this one is for, I think I say you should not bother about this. Now, let's move to modeling. Let's move to modeling. Now, let me There is one two definitions I want you to write here. Modeling. Now, what is modeling? What is modeling? Sorry, let me check where I put the definition. Just give me a few seconds. Sorry, few seconds. Okay, now, what is data modeling? Please, everybody, I want you to write this down. Data modeling is the process of analyzing and divining all different data types your business collects and produces, as well as the relationship between the bits of data. I repeat again, data modeling is the process of analyzing and divining all the different data types your business collects and produces. So this will pass for data analysis. This will pass for data analysis, that is data visualization. You are carrying out analysis on the data given to you. Now, the point where I'm going is, as well as the relationship between those bits of data. So where I'm going is relationship. Now, when we talk about relationship, what is the meaning of relationship in Power BI? Well, relationship simply means that it means you are dealing with two data that are related. You are dealing with two data that are related. Probably they are related via their column. Of course, when you want to build when you want to establish a relationship between two data, then it will be something that is that they are, it will be something that is common between both of them. In other words, we can also say primary key. Permit me to use SQL term, primary key. That is what is common between both of them. In SQL, we call it primary key. Primary key will be in a column in primary key will be two tables that has the same column, and then that has something that brings them together. That's a primary key. Something that connect them together, something that make them to have a relationship together. That is primary key. That primary key is what we normally use to join two tables together. But in Power BI here, we can also see modeling this way. Is a form of establishing relationship between two tables. But here, instead of primary key, we are going to say two columns that are related. Two columns that are related. So it is these two columns that are related. That is a particular header inside that a particular header in a column and a particular header in another column, and then we establish a relationship between two headers. That is what we call relationship. Now, if you look here, you will see the relationship. This is our relationship. This is how to establish a relationship between sets of tables. Between sets of tables. But don't forget, they will not be you will not see it active because now we don't have a data. Now, let me come back to this place. Let me come back to my definition. Now, I've already defined that. Now, let's write this definition again. What is data mining? Right, everybody. Data mining is the process of searching and analyzing a large batch of raw data in order to identify patterns and extract useful information. I define again. Data mining is a process of searching and analyzing a large batch of raw data in order to identify patterns and extract useful information. So this will pass for data analysis. This will pass for data visualization. Data mining will pass for this. All right. So let's look at view. Now, under view, you see team. Team here is if you want to put a background on your canvas, you can come and select a team here. You can come and select a team here. It will effect on this canvas. Also, page view. Page view. If you want to set the the page for your report, you can set it here. We also have the grid lines. Remember grid lines in inside Microsoft Excel. Remember grid lines. Now we also have lock objects. We have snap grid. We have filters. Remember filter in SQL. We have bookmarks. We also have selection. We have performance analyzer. Performance analyzer. So what I would just say is that you can just leave this for now. You can just leave this for now. As you are upskilling, then you can get to know them better. Good. Now, I'll come back to my home again. Then I'll come down here. Now, look at here. This is our data pane. This is our chart. This is our chart. And then here, this where we are going to get this. This is the chart we normally use in Power BI to build a report. So here is called report canvas. Here is called report canvas. So here we can drag our charts here together with the data we've selected, and then we'll build our reports here. Now, when you hear data pane, you will not see data pane active now simply because we don't have a data yet. So you will not see data pane active. Now, if you look at this feature is working for this. So not only for this canvas report, also for our data, but it also work for this canvas report. What do I mean? You can format your background of your canvas, then you can make use of this particular feature, this format page. Okay, now let me come down here. This is our file. So under file, we have open report, we have save as, get data, import, export, publish. So options and settings. So these are the data I have worked on. So we have open report. This one, when you hear new, I want to open a new desktop, that is a new Power BI page. Open report, I want to open my report, save as. You want to get data, you want to report data, you want to export, you want to publish in Power BI community, get started. Do you understand? About, and then sign in. So I'll go back here, and then what else again? Here, if I want to see my data view, it will not be active because I don't have data. Here, it will come back to my, here, it will take me back to my report. It will take me back to my report. Okay, now, the first thing we are going to do now is this. Today, we are going to import data from Microsoft Excel. That's the first thing we are going to do. So how do I import data from Microsoft Excel into Power BI? How do I go about importing document from Microsoft Excel into Power BI? Well, this is how to go about it. Now look at here. This is your get data. Now this Excel workbook, this Power BI data set, this data flow, but we are not dealing with this. We are only dealing with Excel workbook. And you can also come down here to come and select it. You can also come down here to come and select it. But we are going to stay here, Excel workbook. So it will take me to Microsoft Excel. Now, this is Microsoft Excel. Now, the data I'm going to import here, don't forget it's just a data importation, how we can import from Microsoft Excel into Power BI, how we can import from Microsoft Excel into Power BI. That's what we are dealing with today. Now, let me try to use this particular data. No, don't let me use this. Let me use this. So I'm going to select the data. Here I'm making use of my quick access. Now, if your own data is not under quick access, your data might be it might be inside your folder. Your data might be inside all your documents. It might be inside your advanced I'm just trying to say that wherever your data is, your own responsibility is to look for that data. Are you hearing me now? So it means that you must understand where you save your data so that you can import it from that place into Power BI. As for me, I have my data under quick access. So I'm going to bring this data into import this data from Microsoft Excel into Power BI. I will just click open. So let's see what will happen. Now, this is my data. Now, now if you look at here, this is load, this is transform data, and this is cancel. Now, the first I'm going to do is I'm going to check in this stuff, the data self. Now, this is my data. Now, what do you see here? Load, and then here, transform data. Now, when you hear transform data, what does it mean? Now, it means that maybe you have a data that is not, let's say you have a data, let's say you have a data that is not accurate. That is, the data is uncleaned. It's not a transform data. Then you can make use of transform data to transform it. Now, what this thing is going to do is that immediately you press this transform data, what will happen is that it will take us to Power Query Editor. Don't forget, it is inside Power Query Editor that we can transform our data. But I am not transforming this data simply because I have a clean data. I have a clean data. So therefore, I am not transforming this data. So what I'm just going to do is that I am going to load this data. So let me load. I'll load. So now, okay, still booting. Now, if you look at here now, this is my data pane here. You know, I said the other time you can't see the data pane. Now, this is my data pane. This is my data pane. Now, let's say I want to start building my report on this data. So what I'm just going to do is that I'm going to drag. Let's say I want to have country by gross sales. I'm going to select my country. I'm going to select my gross sale. Then I'm going to drag. I'm going to select my gross sale, and then continue like that. Are you getting me now? But because we are not doing data visualization today, because we are not going to look at data visualization in codes. So we are still going to check few things, but I'm not going to work on this data. So I'm not going to build any visual on it on this data. So there is another data I want to build visual, and not that I want to build a serious data. I'm just going to show you how to build a data, but not that we want to carry out thorough analysis. So I'm not going to use this particular data. So the next thing now, I've already taught you how to import data from Microsoft Excel. I've taught you that you just come down here, pick your Excel workbook. It will take you to your Microsoft Excel and then get that folder, that file where your document is, your data is. Then click the data, then import it to Power BI, then follow the routes, and then you get to your data pane and you can begin to carry out your analysis. And if you also want to make use of if your data is inside test CSV, SQL Server, you will also do the same thing. You will just click, then follow the route. Do you get me now? All right, good. Now, the next thing I want to do now is this. Now, if you look at this particular page, we have page one. If you click here, it will open another page. If you click here, another page, like just like Microsoft Excel, another page, another page, another page, another page. So that means that I can build a report here, continue my report here, continue my report here, continue my report here, continue my report here. Just like Microsoft Excel, the same way you have the same way you have sheet one, sheet two, sheet three, sheet four, you also have it in Power BI. So I will just delete this because I don't need them, just to show them, just to show you. And I'm going to also delete this. I'm also going to delete this. I'll delete this as well. Good. Now let's continue now. Now, the next thing I want to do is this. I want to open a new Power BI dashboard, a new Power BI page, a new report. I want to open a new report and I want to do something. Just follow me. So sorry, the thing is a bit slow. Sorry. Open. Time. Thank you. Okay, now this second thing we want to look at, we've looked at the first one. Now, the second thing we want to look at is this. How can I import data from a website into Power BI? You know, the one we did, the one we did the other time was importing data from Microsoft Excel into Power BI. And then I showed you other method. Peradventure, you have your data inside different files. Also, if it is from another source. Now, this time now, we want to make use of, we want to import data from a particular website. Last week in Microsoft Excel, I taught you how to import data from the website into Microsoft Excel. This time now, I want to look at how we can import data from a website into Microsoft, into Power BI. So now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to select here. I'm going to come to my web. Now, look at here, URL. Now, URL means the website, the link to the website. Now, I don't have a link for now. So I'm going to visit a particular website now. So let me, now I'm going to go to livescore.com, this particular website. So I'm going to bring out something here. Now, this is what I want to do. I will come down here. Let me use Sunday. What is this thing bringing now? Okay, now this is what I want to do. I want to bring out the Premier League table. This is where I'm going to. It's a table. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is that this is what I want to import. I want to import this Premier League table, this particular table. I want to import it into Power BI from LiveScore website. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to select, I'm going to copy this, Control C, and then I'll come back to my Power BI, come back here, and then I'll paste it with control using Control V. So I will hit my OK. We are still waiting, still booting. So I'm still waiting. So now the next thing I'm going to do is that I have my web view, and I also have my table view. Now what we want to do is, what I want to work on is a table, not the web view, the table. So since I'm dealing with the table, then I don't need a web view. So this table is automatically selected. So I will just come down here and just check in this box. Preview is disabled. Why? Let me click this and see. Why is it disabled? Okay, let me try and load it. It's not even. Let me try and load. I don't know why I'm not seeing the preview, because I'm still surprised. I'm still surprised. But let's wait and see. Let me see what. Still waiting for the data. Yeah, load. Okay, this is, I don't know why I'm not even seeing the preview. Okay, anyway, let me just check the data here. I think something. Okay, good. Now, this is the data I imported from Power BI to from LiveScore website to Power BI. Now, if you look at this particular data, now if you look at this Champions League, sorry if you are not if you are not a football fan or lover, please you pardon us today. Thank you. Look at here, we have the Champions League, we have the team played, win, draw, lose, goes against, different, goal difference, and the points. Now, this is what I want to do. Now, if you look at this data here, I don't like the way it is structured. That is, I want to delete this particular column. I don't want it. And then this played, wins, draws. I don't also want it. I want something like P, W, T, L, F, A, G, D, and PTS. That's what I want. Now, how do I go about that? I'll come back to my reports. And then remember I told you that transformation, that when you want to transform data, we normally make use of Power Query in Power BI. Now, actually, the other time when I was trying to check the preview, I'm here to know why I didn't see the preview because I've already worked on this. I've worked on this data before and I used to see the preview. So I don't know what went wrong this afternoon, why I didn't see the preview. Because under the preview, that is where I ought to click my transformation. Under that preview, that is where I ought to do my transformation. But since it's not bringing the preview, that means I need to follow another route. Now, let me come down here. Then I will come to my Power Query. This is it. I'll look at this three button. I will click it and look at here. I want to edit my Power Query. New measure, new column, rename. It's not even bringing in the Power Query. Okay. 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 Sorry. This is my edit query. Now, under my Power Query, the next thing I want to do is this. I want to transform this data. I want to do some few stuff on this data. So now let me try to work on that. Now the first thing is I want to delete this column. I don't want this column. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click it. I'm going to remove. Now that's the first thing I want to do on this imported data. Now the second thing is I don't want this played. I just want something like P. So I'm going to just do it this way. Good. Now, to the win as well, I will do the same thing. Also to the draw, I will do the same thing. Also to the losses, Don't forget, I'm already transforming this data. I will do the same thing. And then go against this one. This go for, I think this one should be the number of goals. I will go for the F. I'll go for the F. And then I'll come to my go against. I'll also do the same. And I will come to my go difference. I'm going to do the same. Don't forget, I'm already cleaning this data. Then I will come to the point as well. I'm going to do the same. Good. Now, I'm already done with my transformation on this data. So, and if you look at here, you will see that every step that I'm taking, extracted table from HTML, promoted data, that I work on the data, change type. He said I change the header type, remove columns, removed columns. He is telling me that I removed one particular column. So every step you are doing here, you will be seeing them here in these apply steps. And another thing is that if you want to name this thing, that is, you want your, let's say you want the person you want to send this data to know what you have just done. You can just edit and then rename. You can just rename the step you have done. That's number one, I extracted the data from live score. Then you come to promote header. The next, you rename again. The next thing I did, I promoted the header. I remove like that, like that. So that's how to go about that one. If you don't want to stay with this terminology, this terms, and then you can have your own. You can just edit it and have your own. Now I'm done with my visualization. I'm done with my transformation via Power Query. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to load my data. I will just come to close and apply, close and apply. So you will see the effect here. See the effect here. Still booting. Now have you seen the effect now? So the header that I promoted, can you see the effects? Yeah, good. Now the first thing I'm going to do now is this. I'm going to work on this data to some extent. So I will be fast about it because after this, we have another thing we want to do. We want to clean a particular data in Power using Power Query. Then you will see Power Query more. You will see the feature more when I'm about to clean the data. And then we have another data we want to check how to establish relationship. So, and I want to touch everything before we end the class. So I will be a bit fast. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to bring out a visualization. I want to build a report on this data. So I'm going to make use of this table. Now, this is the first thing I want to do. I'm going to expand this table and then put my team inside. Good. Now this is the first thing I want to do on this data. Now this is my team. And then the second thing I want to do is that I want to bring each person's point the same way we have it on the live score. Let me see if I can quickly track it here. Let me see. Now PWDL. Put my play. P W D L. See, I want more thing to check here. P W D L F A G D F A G D, and then input my F A G D and the points. Okay, good. So I'm done with this. Now I want to quickly work on this table. Let me quickly work on this table. Let me quickly format this table to some extent. So if you want to, now if you look at this thing, I this I used a table, and this is the name matrix. This a table, but I use this chart. I use matrix. I use matrix for to bring out my the content that is inside my data. So this is actually a table. If you look at this table and this matrix, we can see this matrix as also a table because it's also in form of a table. It's also in form of a table. The only difference between this one and this one is that this one give us a pattern here like this demarcation. This one will not give us. So now the next thing we are going to do is that I'm going to format this table. To format, I will just click here and then I will start from my values. My values, I will bold my values. Good. And then the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm done with the value. I'll close it. I'll close it. I will come to my column header. My column header. I will click my column header. Then I will also bold my column header. Fine. And then I will also come to my row header. Yeah, see my row header. I'm going to bold it as well. Good. And then I'll I'll also come down here. I'll come to my cell. No, not yet. I'm coming. No, I don't want this. Background color white. Let me change the background color to ash. Okay. So just keep watching what I'm doing. Done with the column header, row header, specific column. Done a specific column. Can I pick a color? Okay. I think I don't want this. Sorry, I'm still trying to look to get another color to give my visual. Do I need a color header? Yes, row header. Yes, row subtotal. Column grand total. Row grand total. Specific column. So, okay. Now, let me go for another thing now because of our time. Now, the next thing I want to do is that I want to bring in my team. My team. Now, I'm going to use this for the team. I'm going to paste it here. Good. I'm going to paste it here and then I'm going to bring in my team. No, it's not what I want. Mm, It's not bringing what I want to see. Okay. I'm also putting points. Okay. Now, if you look at this, this is a chart, and then I'm going to do something on this chart. Oh, time. Let me quickly do little formatting on this chart. I'm going to come to my y-axis. Then I'm going to bold it. Good. And then I'm going to also come to my x-axis. My x-axis. Under my x-axis, I want to wait on. Yes. Okay. I think it's not giving me what I want to say. So under my data label, that is, I want to put their points here. I'm going to click here and I will get my data label. And then for the bar, I can change the color to, I can change the color to this particular color. Or maybe I can as well, maybe I can go for this. Let's see. Let me leave it like this. Let me leave it like this. Let me leave it like this. So now the next thing I want to do is that I want to pick another after point. I want to pick played. Played. Good. Now I've been able to pick played for this data. And then I also want to go for loss. Loss. Yeah, loss. Good. Now let me see if I can still do another stuff here. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, good. Now under my data label, I've been able to bold the stuff. Now, the next thing I want to do is this. Now, if you look at this table, these two tables, this is a Premier League table, and then this is the chart of the sum of points, sum of points played, loss, and the team. Now, the first thing we did was this. We went to live score to we went to live score to get to import a live data from live score, and then we imported it to Power BI. And then the second thing we did from that stuff, from that data, we built two visualization, the table, the Premier League table, and also the also another table that contains the point, the played, the loss, the played, and the loss. Now, the next thing is this. I've built two visualization. I'm going to stop it here because of time. I'm going to stop it here, and there is something I would like to say on this. Now, what I want you to understand, or what are the little thing I have just done is this. The first thing is, as a data analyst, now let's say let's say you are your own role, your function will be that there is a website where you will be visiting. That is, or in other words, let me put it this way. Let's say there is a particular website where you will be effecting the updates on their website into the data you imported from that website as a data analyst. And then after successfully after successfully after successfully effect the changes on their own website into your own spreadsheet, into your own visual, and then you will now analyze, you will now write a report. You will now analyze, you will now write a report on it. Now, let's say that from live score websites, let's say from live score websites, they update their websites now, and you already imported their data into Power BI, and then after updating the matches played, the point, the sum of play, goal difference, everything, they have updated their website. Now, you are expected to effect what those guys has done to their website. You are expected to effect it on the data as well, such that the same way it is there, we will also see it inside your own data. That's what we are saying. Are you hearing me now? So it means that your job can just be, you will be dealing with a particular website. Once they update that website, then you will effect it on the data you have, the data that link to that website, and you will carry out your analysis and you will write your reports. Maybe that's what we'll be doing in that organization. So how will we now go about that? Number one, you've known how to import data from the website into Power BI. Number two, you've known how to at least do little visualization via Power BI. Good. Now, the third thing in this lesson is, how do we now effect what is inside that website into my own spreadsheet so that I can analyze the data? It will be very bad. It will be very bad that you want to carry out analysis, and the website you are looking from, now, it's just like it's just like VLOOKUP. We are looking a vertical table, and then we are looking from this table to populate this table. Just let me paint that picture in your mind. Let me paint that picture that way. Now picture it that way as well. What I'm doing is that once the data entry or anyone holding that office, once he update the website, my own office is to visit that website and then see the updates and then effect it on the data that I have on Power BI and carry out analysis. Let's now say daily, daily. They will always update the website daily. So that means that your analysis will be also daily. So now, how do we effect that? It is very simple. Number one, you must first ensure that you have you must first ensure that your connection is open. That is, you must first ensure that you are connected. You must first ensure that you are connected. That's number one. And then number two, once you are connected, remember that this data has a source from live score. So that means immediately I notice that they have updated their site. Then what I'm just going to do is that I will come to my Power BI after saving my after saving hello.
We can hear you, sir.
Sorry, can you see you see
Yes,
what I'm doing?
Yes, we can hear you. We can see the screen too.
You can see the screen. Okay. Thank you. Because I thought you are not even seeing the screen. Thank you, sir. Okay, now let's see that. Okay, good. Now you now want to effect it inside your dashboard, inside your canvas. You want to effect it. How will you go about it? I said number one, you must first be connected. And then number two, after knowing that they have updated their website, then what do? I'm going to open my Power BI desktop. And I'm going to open that chart, that visualization that I've done through this. I'm going to open that visualization. I'm going to open my reports. And then what I'm just going to do is that I'll come here. I'll come to this place, this small button, this refresh. Then I will hit it. So when I hit it, I will just wait for some minutes. For a few minutes, maybe 2-3 minutes, I will just wait. So do you know what is going to happen? Immediately you refresh it. What is going to happen is that what was done on that particular website, you will see the effect on your dashboard. You will see the effect on your dashboard. You will see the effect. So it means that you will understand this, and then when you have a task that is related to what I have just explained now, you will now do it like that. So now that you understood what I've just taught you now, you can now begin to, in fact, you can begin to practice it from websites, especially a live website. And if you look at live score, they used to update their website whenever matches are played. They will definitely update. So the assignment is this. What I just want you to do is that this is your assignment, but don't submit to me, but practice it. This is what you are going to do. You are going to visit live score. You will import Premier League table. Just follow my route. Now, if you don't want to import Premier League table, then you can import La Liga table or Italian in Serie A or French league. Anyone that you know that just a table. I just want a table, a live table. The one you know they used to update. Pardon us, those that are not football lovers. Please pardon us. Football lovers, today is a day. So now you will now visit that website, go for that table, whether Premier League, whether La Liga, whether Serie A, whether French league. Follow the same route, import it into Power BI. Now, after importing it into Power BI, just do short visualization. Just what you might not really format it. Just simple. This one is just a simple visualization. Because if I begin to format this particular table, that is coming back here and then painting the background, just designing it will take our time. So I just want to do simple visualization so that we can still finish up in time today. So now design your data. Yeah, and if you want to design it, as if you want to do the work of graphic design, you just want to paint, you want to just do it, just play around the stuff, just play around and just design it to your taste. But the instruction is that I want a table like this. You can design the table, but I want a table like this. One, and then two, I want a chart like this. And then you must have sum of points played, and the losses. You must also have it this way. This is the two things I want to see. Now, after you have done that, please, you must do it today. After you have done that, just save it. Okay, save it. And the next thing is that be looking forward to see the day they will play Premier League. Be looking forward to the day they will play Premier League. So it means that they might play maybe okay. I think Wednesday. I think there should be Premier League on Wednesday, if I'm right. So just wait for the day they are going to play Premier League. Then, if they are here to play that Premier League, if you refresh, you will not see anything. You just look at, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not getting it. It's because you are in haste. So when they are done playing Premier League that night, after knowing that they are done playing Premier League, come to your Power BI, open your desktop, open what you have saved, ensure you are connected, and then come to refresh and refresh. Wait for a few minutes. Do you know what's going to happen? You are going to see the effect that is on the live score website. You will also see the effect inside here. It will effect itself automatically. We can also call it automation. It will automate itself. So this is how you can carry out analysis on live data. When I mean live data will definitely mean a data that you cannot have access until you are connected. That is, they normally update that data, whether weekly, whether in 2 days, in 3 days. We can call it a live data because the website is always busy. They always update. So when you are dealing with a live data, that is the way you will be going about. So it might not now be live score. It might be another organization. Maybe the organization, what they used to do is that once they get data of the sales for that month, there is someone that will put it on the website. Maybe the data entry, I don't know. There's someone that will put it on the website, and then the job of the data analyst will now be the one to go into the website and carry out the analysis. Now, if you remember the Excel that we did last week, when I was teaching you automation, I taught you how you can go about it, right? You already have a visual already. So I taught you how to updating, and I taught you refresh and how to update. So this thing is also like that, just that this one is a website. You are dealing with the live data. Not that someone send the data now, you copy it, you paste it, and then you go to your pivot table to refresh, and then it refresh, and then you can carry out your analysis. No, this time you are dealing with the website. So any form of data, so far it is inside the website, this is the route you are going to follow. And then you carry out your analysis on the data. I think it's clear now. Good. So everybody ensure you do the assignments. So when they play Premier League, just refresh it and also see it. You will see the effects on your reports. Okay. Thank you. Now we are moving. Two things before we go. Two things. Now, the first thing we are going to look at again is that I'm going to I'm going to bring out a new desktop, a new desktop, new. So let's just hold on, let it boot, and then we'll continue. Still booting. Sorry, admin, please, can you just unmute people? Let me just ask that. Are they clear with what I have just done? This one before moving to the next one. Please, I just want people to respond. Are you clear with this?
Okay, can we please respond?
Yeah.
Are we cleared?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we still need time to practice it.
Is that unclear? What I just want to hear is it's clear. I don't not a question. I'm just asking, is it clear? That's all. Cleared?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mike, I guess we've gotten the concept, so it's left for us to practice and then we'll be better with it.
Thank you. I love that response. Okay, now the next thing I want to do now is data transformation, or let me say data cleansing and transformation. Data cleansing and transformation. Remember the definition I gave to you during our first class, the theoretical class. Remember I said data analytics can be defined as a scientific process of transformation into insights for making better decision. I said it's a scientific process of transformation into insights for making better decision. Now, we want to look at that word transformation again. You know, we've already looked at tips of it when I was working on Premier League table. When I was working on Premier League table, we already did tips of data transformation. Now, in Power Query. Now, this time now, we are going to enter into Power Query again, and then you are going to see different features in Power Query on how we can transform a data through Power Query. Are you hearing that? No.
Chukuzokafo, please can you mute your mic?
Now remember, before I go into that one, remember I was talking about text box. Text box. Remember this text box. Remember I was talking about text box. This particular box, you can drag it up. I forgot to show you that one. Sorry, you can drag it. Keep dragging and drag the text box. You can drag and then drag again. Drag again. And then drag again. Drag again. Drag again. And then you can now type here. Let's say you want to write Premier League Premier League. Premier League standing. And then you can increase it with, you can drag it to the middle. Let me see if it's good. And then you can also increase this particular title. You can increase it to maybe 16. 20, give it 18. Okay, and then you can bold it as well. And bold it. Good. So you can also use this option to put it in the middle. Then you can just reduce a bit. I don't know if it will be correct to put S in this Premier League standing. I don't know if it is correct anyway, but let me just add this. I don't know if it is correct, but just let me add this. Now, yes, so this is how to make use of Premier League. This is how to make use of your text box. So don't forget the assignment, just work on it and just get back to, I will ask you next week. So let me go back to the next thing we have for today. Okay, good. Now I want to get another data. So I'm going to use this route again. Get data. Now I have my data. I want to get it from quick access. I'll come to quick access. And I will come to my untransformed sales data. Don't forget the definition of data analytics. Transformation. Now I'm going to say open. Waiting for you to boot. Not responding. I beg respond. So waiting for you to boot. Now let me see. Let me select for preview. Now, this was what I was expecting the other time when I imported the data from LiveScore. I was expecting something like this. So I was shocked when I saw that word that you cannot preview. I was surprised because I as it been I saw something like this. Instead of following the second route, I will just come to my transform data, then I will transform. It will just take me to Power Query just like that. Look at load. I won't. Okay, now before I continue, if you look at this data is not a clean data. Now imagine you want to carry out analysis on this data. You want to write a report on this data. You know, it will be funny for you to just load. After loading, and then you are now preparing to do your visual to carry out your analysis. That will be an error. In fact, you're already in trouble already because you have already caused problem already. Because if we're looking at the data, you yourself, you will know that this data, I cannot visualize this data like this. I think I need to do some transformation on this data. In other words, I think I need to clean this data. So since you've seen that, since you notice that since you notice that you need to clean this data, that means you will come to your transform data. Instead of load, you won't load. You will say transform data. So let me click my transform data. Now it will take me into my Power Query. Good. Now this is my Power Query now. This is my Power Query. Now I'm going to close this one. I don't want it. Now look at this data from salesperson to file to sales price. The data is not clean. So if I say I want to visualize this kind of data, then it means that I don't even know what I am doing. I don't know what I'm doing, because you cannot say you are a data analyst and you see this kind of data and you want to visualize it just like that. That will be an error. So the first thing I want to show you is this. Now, this Power Query, though Power Query is not, it's not in this curriculum, but because we are dealing with Power BI, and in Power BI, you will need the knowledge of Power Query. And in Power Query, you will clean data. In Power Query, you will clean data. So therefore, there is a need to at least to have the knowledge. So that's what we are doing now. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, hello, are you with me? Hello?
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
we-
with you.
Yeah, we are with you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, if you look at this particular column, you will see 86%, 0% as 14%. I set this thing. So you should also set it as well. It will always be helping you to know how to go about any data in Power Query. Now, this 86% means that my data is not clean. It's supposed to be 100%, 100%. But this 86% based on the rating. I have 14% empty here, and then total I have 86%. The is a valid 86%. So it means that I need particular figure to make it 100%. To make it 100%. So now it ought to be 100%. Now we call this place column in Power Query. It is called column quality. So the quality of this column is this is the quality of our column, 86%. Now to check it, you just come down to your view and look at it, column quality. So if you don't have it in Power BI, you can just check it in. So if I uncheck it, you will say that you won't see anything again. But since I used to make use of Power Query, to transform my data, then it's better I just put it here, put it back, check it in, column quality. Now, let's start from this column. Now, if you look at this particular column, this column is not clean, it's not transformed, it's not clean. Now, the first thing I want to do here is that I want to change the salesperson. So I want to put a capital letter so to become salesperson. Now, if you look at John Smith, Michael Jojo, the name is not well arranged. In fact, this is a small letter, this is a small letter. It ought not to be this way. Now, I've already selected this color. So what I will just do is I'll come to my transform, then I will come to my ABC format. I will come to capitalize each word. Can you see? It has changed. We are progressing. Now I'm going to come down to product again. I'm going to change it to products. Now, if you look at this column, you see that there is something like car 123, bicycle 123. This ought not to be so. What do I do? That means I need to get rid of this 123 and then capitalize my products. Car C, capital C, capital B, capital L. So I'll come back to my transform and then look at here. There is something like replace value. Remember Excel, find and replace. Replace value. Value to find. Find 1, 2, 3. Replace with what? Nothing. Just give me okay. Can you see now? I just got rid of it. Now I still have car frame. I'll come back to my transform again, and then I will come to my format. Then I will say capitalize each word. We are getting there, right? Good. Now look at this column 2. Everything is no, 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 no. Well, I don't want null. So that means I will get rid of this column. To get rid of this column, I will just right click and then remove. Good. This is my expenses. I will change it to, sorry, it should be expenses. I suppose not to clear everything because of time. Expenses, enter. Now, under my expenses, I can give it a dollar sign. I come down here and then I will give it a dollar sign here. Good. We are progressing. Now, this is customer loyalty. How do I go about this one? I'm going to change it to capital letter. Good. And then I will just leave it like that. Then I will come to this column. Column 1, column 12, I don't want them. I will select, I'll press my control downward, select again, and then right click, then remove columns. I will get rid of them. Good. Now we have units sold. If you look at my units sold, I have small letter here. I will also change it. It will become a capital letter. I'll put my capital letter here. And then there is something I also want to do here. Now I have dash and then dash. I don't want this dash to be there. So I can also come down here, come to my transform. I can come to my transform and then come to replace value, and then value to find dash, replace it with what? I want it to replace it with 0, and I will hit my OK. It has been replaced with 0. Now, look at my customer country. Under my customer country, I have small letter CC. Then I will change it to capital letter C. And then also the country, I will change the country to capital letter C and then hit my OK. But something is also wrong here. What is that? I have England, England, England. I don't want it in capital letter. Then I need to change it. I'll come to my transform. Then I'll come to my displace again, capitalize each word. Good. Now, look at my date. I have 45 to 31, 45 to 32. Now, if you look at this, you will think that, date ought not to be this way. Date ought not to be this way. So it means that I need to clean this column. To clean, the what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change it to date. Good. And then the next thing is that date ought not to be this way. There is a way to go about it. I will just come down here and then I will come to date. Can you see my date here? I'll click. You see that I corrected the date. Now I will move again. I will move again. Now, sales CSV. I have sales.csv. Now I can use delimiter to separate sales.csv such that CSV will come to this particular column. I won't change this header because I'm still going to get rid of these two columns. I don't need them. But let me show you how delimiter works. I'm going to select, come to my transform, and then come to my delimiter. Where's my delimiter? Delimiter. Add column. Okay, split delimiter. So you come to your delimiter by delimiter. Now, I want it from right most to drop it to the right hand side. I will just click this. I will hit my OK. So can you see sales? Now, can you see it has already separated this particular data? Now, peradventure you might have two items that are joined together. You just go to your split column and do it that way. You will get rid, you will be able to separate them. But I just want you to see how it works. But this time I don't need this, and this. That means I'm going to get rid of them. I will long press my control, click, right click, and then remove columns. Okay, now look at here. I have value 2, and then I have my sales value. In value 2, I don't also need this as well. So I'm going to remove it. Now I have sales price. I'm going to change it to sales. Good. Now I can even give it a dollar sign. Good. Now I'm already. Now look, if you look at here, this is our apply step. Remember the one we first did when we are doing the Premier League standings. Here, you can just edit and then change. I want this. And anyone you don't want, maybe you don't want the step you've taken, you want to get rid of that step, you just click this particular thing like that, look like X. It will go back to the what you have just, it's like undo. Now, then you can start writing this step. If you don't want these terms that Power Query has given to you, you can just change them and use your own language and use your own words. And also here as well, you can give a table name. Your table, you can name it here, and you can also name it here. Don't forget, Power Query, there is still a load of things inside Power Query, as a load of things. But just for the sake of this class, we will just stay on data transformation. There are still many things to learn in Power Query. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, if you look at my data, at least to some extent, it is clean. To some extent, my data is clean to some extent. But I will still say that it's still not here. It's still not clean like that. If you look at here, I'm still having like dash here. I can still come down here. You see, I'm still transforming this data. I will come down here again. Oh, replace value, and then I will put my dash, replace it with 0. Say okay. Good. Now you see my here clean. If you look at my column quality, we are still seeing 86, 81, 86. We still need to do something on this data because we can't just visualize it this way. So what are we going to do? Now, if you look at here, you will see null, null, null. Null means empty. So how do I go about that? I will come here, then I will allow it to load, then I will uncheck my null, and I will say, okay. What did you see? I've removed the null, right? Now, if you look at here, you will see that to some extent, my data is almost 100%. In fact, it has even given it 100. Here, we are still having 94. So, what do I do again? I've already removed a null. Then I can also come down here, remove the null here, and hit my OK. Can you see? What did you see? I've get rid of my null. Are you seeing a clean data? This is how to transform data. And then what else to do again? Let's see again if there is something to do again. Now, if you look at here, we still have null here. Then I can come down here, click, and then come to transform, come to replace value, and then write value to find null, replace with what? 0. And I will just hit my OK. Good. See my clean data now. Now, if you look at here again, let's check again. Let's check. We are done. Now I have a clean data. Now, at times, if you have, when you are transforming your data, let's say when you come down here, this replace value, and you notice replace errors. Let's say you have errors inside your column. You will just come to replace errors. It will also work. And replace it with another thing or empty. Are you getting it? That's how to go about replace error. But here we are replacing values. So now, so far so good. That raw data that we imported from Microsoft Excel is now a clean data. It's now a clean data. Wow. Can I visualize this thing and get a result? Yes, I can. I can visualize and get a result. Why? Because I've transformed this data. Using Power Query. Good. Now, last thing to do, I want to generate 2 columns here using Power Query. 2 columns, and then we end this, and then we'll move to the last one. I think admin will give me like 10 to 15 minutes for the last one. 10 to 15 minutes, admin. 10 to 15 minutes. Is it allowed? Hello, admin.
You can proceed, please.
Okay, thank you. So now I want to get a new column. I want to get my revenue from this data, and I also want to get my profit also from this data. So how do I go about that? Very simple. What I'm going to do is that I can come down to add column, and then come to custom column. So under my custom column, I will just put my revenue. So our revenue will be unit sold times sales price. So I will come to my here. I will come down here. I will come down here. I will hit my unit sold, insert, then my multiply by sales price, and the sales price, insert. Now you slow at here. Learn about Power Query formulas. No syntax error have been detected. So I will just hit my OK. So I have my new column here, revenue. Now, let's say I also want to have my expenses. That will be revenue minus expenses. Now, there is a way to go about that. Let me use another method. So, revenue minus expenses will give us profit. So, you can just click here, hit your control, and then come to your expenses. Your expenses, add column, and then come down here, subtract. Good. Have you seen? And then I will write the title. So the difference between the first method I used and this one is this. When you make use of the second method, you will not be able to give your column a title. It will just give it the sign you used, the subtraction you used. But if you follow the first route, which was the one I used the other time, then it will give you will just write the title of your column immediately. So here, I will just change it to profit. Then it's my enter. So now there are still a lot of things I can do with this data. There are still a lot of things I can do with this data. I can use logical statements in Power Query to write this data. I can do grouping. I can append. I can do different things with this data using Power Query. But let's stay with this. Now, the last thing I want to do is that I just want to do little adjustments on the column header. Take for instance, like the salesperson and products. I want, since they are test, I want this one to come down here. I will just select and I will just drop it. Can you see? So, and then I also want my dates to be in front of profit. Just drop it. Just carry it again. Drop it. Okay, this is not responding. Let me carry profit on. Good. So now you can rearrange your header. You just select and then drag and then drag and then drag. You can just arrange them to your own taste. So now that I'm done with this data, the next thing to do is that I'm already done with this data. I'm not writing logical statement on this data. What I will just do is that I will just come to my home, then close and apply. So I have closed and applied. I'm still waiting. So I will just load it and then begin my visualization. I just load and then begin my visualization. So that's that. Let's look at the last one for today. Let's see how we can establish relationship between three tables. Remember how the definition of relationship. Remember how I defined relationship, related table. So we want to look at three tables that are related. And then we want to see how establishment is always done with Power BI, on Power BI, when it comes to related data. So let's go to that. I'm not visualizing this anyway. So the next thing I want to do again is that I want to get a new desktop. I want to get a new desktop. Yeah, this thing now. Sorry. Time. Something. Yeah.
We are super excited you've joined us till this point in this training. This is week 5 and lesson 9. Due to network error, we won't be able to continue with this class today. So kindly join us for this session tomorrow in lesson 10. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you and see you in lesson 10.